in India for about 6 weeks at this point, and we're privy to the Indian ways. Meaning, when we walked out of the airport, we had a driver booked. He was standing there with a sign. We went to his car, skipped the tuk-tuks and the bargaining and all that, and went to our hotel. They included the ride to the hotel in the stay, but not the leaving the hotel. You got to figure that out on your own. Western hotels, you pay for the room. Here, I got 2 twin beds, but I accidentally put 1 guest, and the price for the 2 nights in the room was 5,000 rupees, which is, I don't know, divide that by 82, $50. So 60, something like that. And it was like 3,500 to add another person. So we just got 2 separate rooms. We're at the Green Olive in Aurangabad, and this is like more or less an Indian hotel. This is, where like domestic tourists would stay. Bellboy's got my matches. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Coming into Aurangabad was one of those moments that we have on every trip where you say, oh, I wish I had a picture of that. So there was a shop on the side of the road, and there were some other shops surrounding it, no big deal. But underneath it, there were cages. And in the cages, there were chickens. And on top, there was a cutting board. And if you wanted chicken, then the owner, boss, would pull the chicken out and prepare it for dinner. I mean, it was fresh chicken. And one thing about Indian restaurants is everything is fresh, because freezing food and using prepared foods is way more expensive than labor. So almost every day in every restaurant, except for French fries, that's the one exception, the food comes from the market and is prepped fresh. Like, it's all from scratch. Most of the restaurants have good food, and a lot of them have exceptional food for not a whole lot of money. Like, it's amazing how cheap everything in India is. I figured it was about a quarter of American prices. So something that would cost $1 in the United States costs about a quarter in India, and it's weird because their economy is set up so that everything is domestic. They like to make their own products and sell them within the country, which means that prices aren't even set on an international scale a lot of times. They're kind of based on whatever the price in India is. It's great for us, and it really sucks for the Indian, but it's just the way that life is. Last night from Bangalore, stayed at the Green Olive Hotel, and our driver that picked us up at the airport brought us to the Ellora Caves. This is like the main attraction for Aurangabad. It's the reason we came here. It's about a 45-minute drive from kind of the city of Aurangabad. Entry is 600 for foreigners and 40 rupees for Indian locals. And this is our entrance. They were built, they started cutting these caves into the earth at like 700 to 900 AD, so roughly 1500 years ago. Instead of being built out of block, they're actually like carved into the earth. I don't know much about them. Instead of getting a government guide, we've hired a local guide, which is a little bit of a risk, but we're gonna try it. He snuck around the gate because he doesn't need an entrance fee, and we're gonna meet him inside.
Your country, sir?
America. Texas. Thank you. I didn't know what we were getting into. The Ellora Caves was on the new 20 rupee note, but that's about all I knew about them. Jason wanted to go see the Kalisi temple. Kalisi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But he's the reason we went to the Ellora Caves. We're starting at cave number 10. This circle around here is caves number 1 through 10. This was a Buddhist cave that was carved probably around 900 AD. On the left side, there is a temple carving from North India. On the right side, there's a temple carving from South India. may have been like a meeting place for North and South. And in the center there's a window, and from the 10th to the 15th of March in the early morning at sunrise, the sun will shine in through that hole. We're about to go inside, but this whole thing is like carved out. Feels like walking into the stomach of an elephant. There's all the ribs. This would be a really cool place to do like a group chant. I tried to put myself in the mindset of a person visiting 1,000 years ago when the Buddhist monks called it home and you went to seek spiritual guidance away from whatever hustle and bustle existed in cities 1,000 years ago. Going into these meditation chambers in complete darkness and complete silence and being able to hear the vibrations inside and have true sensory deprivation, no feeling of what's going on around. I mean, it was a really powerful moment. These would have been like the dining halls behind us. This was not like a place for business and commerce. This was a home for monks. You know where Maharishi got all his ideas now? The Beatles auction was just a big knockoff. The whole purpose of a monk is to guide others to spirituality. But it just feels like that was a different point in time. There's a lot of like tourist energy here, but they open at 6 tomorrow morning, and I'm really tempted to come back because I think this is a special place. I mean, there's not a lot of people around. It could be magical. Jason was quite the popular character. Everybody wanted pictures with him. I mean, this was kind of true all over the country. There were some places in the cities where they were used to seeing white people, but Aurangabad was not one of those. We were the only white people we saw for the entire time we were there.
Hello, you're from America. What's your name?
I'm calling.
Oh, calling. Yes. What is your YouTube channel?
It's WalkaboutLife.
WalkaboutLife?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
What do you have to say to the, Indians? Are you coming back to model?
Sure enough, I'm getting to the movies.
Yeah, we're going to Bollywood next. Here we come. Jason's famous. Everyone I think it's great. I know what it's like to get swamped by cameras now. Cave number 2, the Buddhist monastery, datable to the 8th century, consists of a broken veranda with 12 pillars in the middle. We're at caves number 11, and these would have been the hostels where I guess monks and visitors would have stayed. also, there's a big like chamber in the ground over here, and it would have been like a water supply. So this is the third floor of the hostel, and each one of these chambers along the walls has a Buddha. This one is in Padmasana, sitting in lotus, and then it opens up into an area. I'm assuming people would have stayed in the floors and prayed here. This Buddha in here has he's in a seated position with his feet on the floor, and has his it's a mudra I haven't figured out. These small cutouts in the wall. I don't want to get attacked by bats. I don't know if they're natural. I want to talk about like a quiet, dark place to meditate. We had met a friend in Sri Lanka that had done a 10-day silence retreat, and one of her comments about a lot of Buddhists were at the retreat was that the people that ran the place were kind of fat and out of shape because they just sat around and meditated all day. So after touring the Buddhist temples, we started with the Hindu temples, and the very first one, Nandi's looking down a row of columns, and it would have been a room that was used for dancing. So this is cave number 12, and this is where the Hindu belief starts. The statue in the back has been stolen. I don't know what he thought it was originally. It was not stolen. It's intentional. So there's a lingam inside, which is a stone kind of pillar with a rounded top and a basin around the bottom. You can put oils and water and flowers in it as an offering. A lot of people will touch it and kiss it, and I didn't know what a lingam was. It took me quite a while to figure it out. I was reading a book on Tantra, and it turns out that the lingam is the name for the special male sex organ.
It's his dick.
So essentially, you are kissing Shiva's. And sex is viewed totally different there. The guilt and shame and pleasure and sin that Westerners have, the views that we have of sex is created kind of by the Christian church, whereas Buddhists and Hindus see it totally different. We're not going to get into that. The Hindu section was very ornate compared to the Buddhist sections. Like, the Buddhists kind of have bellies, and the statues are nice, but they spend the most of their time sitting around meditating, figuring out how to find release. And the Hindus, on the other hand, seemed like a busy people. All of their carvings were more ornate, the temples were larger, there was spaces for dancing and ceremonies. And then the main temple was, pretty spectacular. Okay.
So this temple name is Kailash. Why they call it Kailash? Kailash is not here. Kailash is the biggest mountain in Himalayan Tibet. Tibetan mountain that called Kailash. So that mountain you can see from here, that in the front of that, they look like Kailash Parbat mountains. That's why they call the Kailash. We make it the home. We start from where? We start from down to up. This temple they cut out from top to down is 48 meters. Front to back is 80 meters. Length was is 35 meters. This temple took 200 years, 10 generations, 7 to 8,000 people they work every day. Those kings come from state of Karnataka, nearby Hampi. Krishna Deva Rashtrakuta Chalukya bread. The temples, how they cut it, they start from the top, round the cows, you can see that. The round cows, there is holy cow, is Nandi is there. Then single lion, then Shiva is sitting in the meditation pose. Then 4 lions, Why they four loins made it? Because somebody doesn't want to discard these things. Because this is the way they connected from village to village. Those people was walking from that dance. Then after Gokuram parts, then after Half Sabha Mandap parts, Half Sabha Mandap, that is the meeting point was there. Half is the grove was there. That is the manastam, this side is Jagastam. That is the that is the two pillars was there. That time is the candles was that things. They put it was there, that things was there. Middle is the holy cow, is Nandi is there. All of the gods. Back side is Shiv Puran is like Vishnu is the Shiv Puran is the Vishnu Puran is there. Then Vishnu is the 10 incarnations. 10 incarnation means that is Vishnu is the 10 incarnation. You saw in cave number 15 was that. And this side is the Ramayana is there.
Yeah, it's crazy. This thing is carved from the top down. Standing down here, you don't realize what all went into making it. So the Buddhist portion was what I was probably most interested in. I think Buddhism is a quiet way to find spirituality without an overwhelming number of rituals to go through. The rituals of Hinduism, dances, all of the gods. It's like millions of gods. The blessing daily, the chanting, gatherings, dress. It's all very intense. So I was really excited about seeing that, and I'm going to guess that National Geographic is already. This is two guards. We have a dancing Lord Shiva on the ceiling. And I kept waiting for a statue to be at the end of the, what do you call the thing where you make an offering?
These are lingas. What's the offering? What is it called?
Iswa. And you make an offering. Flowers or oil. Water. What does it represent?
It's his dick.
You get to touch it and be blessed.
That's what I keep telling people, just money.
Dancing Shiva. And there's Shiva. And Ganesh on the end. And finally, Jains came in and took over the end part and made their own caves. The Jain priests do not wear clothes. And I believe to this day, if you go to a Jain temple, none of the monks will be clothed. That was just something that caught me off guard. And the representation of of Jainism is a swastika, which has a very different meaning in that part of the world compared to, the genocide by the Nazis that we all associate the swastika with. He stole it from Hindus, I believe. And it's even called a swastika, but the meaning just got corrupted.
Inside, go to the here. This is a meditation. Monk.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
Om Namah Shiva. The echo in here is great. This is the Jain prayer room. The Mahavira is up front. There's an elephant to represent the south, and I forgot the name of that. And the monks don't wear clothes.
Mahavira. Mahavira city called this one elephants.
Aurangabad is in the state of Maharashtra, which is Mumbai is the big city, formerly known as Bombay. However, in the mountains, there's lots of mining for gemstones, amethyst, garnet. I don't know if there's any precious stones, but there is a lot of mining done. And I kind of checked on souvenirs, and in most places, your souvenirs in the shops are manufactured. You can buy them cheapest at markets in Delhi. However, there was something special here. It was a amethyst geode that had naturally broken in half. And whether I got screwed on this thing or not is questionable. They started at like 15,000 rupees, and I got them down to 7,000, which was still quite a bit. That's like, $60 for a rock. And then I carried this thing home in my tiny backpack. Like, carrying this rock became my priority for the next 2 weeks. So as with every city we went into, we had to find a yoga studio. In Aurangabad, it was not looking hopeful. However, we found Peace Yoga. The guru is Master Krishna, and they had a morning class we were able to go practice with. We came in, and the only female teacher we had had since leaving Rishikesh led the class to begin with, and then Master Krishna took over, and really it was quite a special event. We enjoyed visiting, but for them, we were the first foreigners that had ever come to the studio, and it was a big deal. At the end, we took a group picture with them. They put shawls over our necks. They offered us a house plant as, a sign of peace and love and welcomeness. I didn't really know how to take it. It felt odd receiving this royal treatment being there. And I kind of looked goofy because I didn't know how to take it. But it's important to receive people's gifts and offerings. Whether it's important to you or not doesn't matter. It shows them that you care and that you're a part of their blessing for the day and you're willing to receive their love. In the same way, asking someone for help resolving an issue can be a sign of friendship and caringness. It's not about asking them to do something. It's about showing that you trust them enough to ask them to help you solve this problem that you have, that you're at the top of the list. You're, the person you're asking for help is a priority to you. Short but sweet visit in Aurangabad, saw the Ellora Caves, did a yoga class this morning at Peace Yoga. We were the first foreigners to visit their class, which was pretty cool. And we are looking for the Jain train to Mumbai. We got our tickets right here. About 700 rupees per ticket to get to Mumbai, like a 7-hour ride. Everything's cloudy. It's the rainy season, and supposedly Mumbai is just covered up in rain. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this journey. It was a truly magical experience. I highly recommend visiting the Ellora Caves if you are doing kind of a round trip tour of India. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.